I think we are all wondering, where in the world are we if we're not in the national park?
Well, we're in an area called the Dalmatian Inlands, and we're not very far from Drniš and not very far from the National Park Krka.
Okay, and what is this area known for?
Well, this area is known for a legend that we had here, apparently, well, happened in the 18th century, a story that we had here. Back in 1725, a young gentleman from not very far from here, around about 15 kilometers, wanted to marry a beautiful young woman called Angela, who lived 80 kilometers from here. Okay. And of course, in those days, he had to go and ask her hand in marriage. So he traveled all the way to Bosnia. They met, she agreed to marry him, and on their way back to his village, they stopped here to rest. And unfortunately, some bad things happened here. Of course, Angela was a very beautiful woman, and she had many suitors who wanted to ask her hand in marriage. And unfortunately, a haiduc, which is a highwayman, a bandit, of course wanted to marry her as well. And out of jealousy, he wanted to steal Angela from the groom Stjepan. And while they were returning together, the couple-to-be, back to his village, the highwayman Maleta waited and ambushed their wedding party here. And unfortunately, he murdered most of the haiducs. The highwaymen attacked the wedding party and murdered most of them. And unfortunately, Angela didn't want to fall into the hands of this haiduc, so she, we can say, committed suicide, or she asked her best man to decapitate her.
So it's not the best ending.
Not the best ending, unfortunately. And this cross here signifies actually her grave. And there are other graves here, of course, where the rest of the wedding party have been buried.
This is like the latest legend we've been hearing about marriages which have not ended happily. In the modern Croatia, would you recommend marrying a Croatian woman? It sounds like quite a dangerous thing to do.
It's not so dangerous. Not anymore. Not anymore. You have to understand, in those days, the Turkish invasion, this was all under the Ottoman rule, and it was normal to have these banditos roaming around the countryside, stealing, pillaging. Well, a haiduc can be something like Robin Hood. You got the good ones, you got the bad ones. And unfortunately, this wedding party, unfortunately, the Maleta, this haiduc, he fell in love, deeply in love with Angela, because she was, well, one of the beautifulest girls here, and the most beautiful girl. And out of just jealousy, he wanted to take her, steal her, keep her to himself.
Can you tell us a bit about the haiduc? Because obviously the football club Hajduk Split takes its name from these highwaymen.
From the highwaymen, banditos or robbers, you say. That's true. The gentlemen, the students that founded the club, Hajduk. It's a story now how Hajduk was formed. They took on the name Banditozi because the people that founded the club acted like Banditozi.
So has over time the haiducs become more of a positive?
Yeah, that is now a discussion that I had earlier. You had the good ones. They were like freedom fighters fighting against the Turks. Then you had some like these Maleta that would just steal and pillage anybody. But it's a good thing, considered in that time what they did for the local population. They would steal from the Turks, because the Turks, the Ottomans who were in rule here, they were the richest people, so they were stealing from him. There are actually even highwaymen, haiducs, that were something like Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give it to the poor.
Or steal your wife.
Oh, you'll steal your wife, unfortunately, in this legend there.
Well, I hear that there's actually a shortage of haiducs currently in the area, so gentlemen, we're going to be able to put you to use. If you've ever wanted to feel like Robin Hood, today is your chance.
Bit of wife stealing?
Yeah.
We have more for that.